Hi, welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers, and this is a new custom Badaxx that I've just completed and I'm ready to put up for sale. This one's got a couple of little differences, as you'll notice. It's got the artful etching that's unique for this saber, both in the shroud there and in the pommel. I wanted the parts to have a unique kind of weathering, so I actually tumble finished all the parts first. So you'll notice they're not a shiny aluminum, they're kind of a dull matte finish, and then weathered them so they're shiny in parts. There's different textures, well, not really textures, but just different patina to the metal, and the weathering agent just adds that impression that it's been used or aged or has been around a few battles. And I wanted to pair that with this new powder coating. It's called a penny vein. It's a textured metallic powder coating, very durable, but it really goes well with the weathering on the saber. I'm referring to this saber as kind of the Sith Relic Badaxx. It's got the highest level of tech inside, which I'll get to in a moment. This video is going to serve as the instructions for the new owner as well, showing what you can and can't do. I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the design features of the saber. But the functions we'll get to as we go. As with any of these high-end sabers, it's got a Crystal Focus 7.5 sound card inside. You pull out this kill key, whoops, and you lose it on the floor. And that you can see the 2.1mm recharge port. I'll get the kill key. It's red, so you can find it easily. That just shuts off power to the saber. But when it's active, you can see that the black anti-vandal switch is pulsing with the red ring. This is a red dominant saber, although it has the color changing technology, which I'll get to in a minute. So for operating the saber, I'm just going to put a blade in really quickly here. Blade goes in this way. Blade retention screw so it doesn't go flying out while you're dueling. Simple pressure to the power switch. The saber turns on. Got 12 different sound fonts in here. A number of them are mine. I think there's 4 or 5 that are the stock fonts. But I've got some of the dark side fonts in here because this is, like I said, a red dominant saber. So you've got the power button, which now flickers. That's programmable. The auxiliary button, different blaster block, lockup, and of course the flash on clash, which is again programmable through all those. You've got your clash sounds, your swing sounds, all the different sounds with each of the sound fonts. And this saber is suitable for hard dueling. It's made for dueling. It's balanced for dueling. That's the basic operation of just the function of the saber. If you want to get into the menu to change the sound font,
sound bank selection.
Just hold that button down until you hear the menu. Now I'm in the menu, so I can toggle through the different sound fonts.
Audio player.
Then go to the Fate sound font. Let's go to a dark side font. We'll go to the Revenge sound font. I hold it. Now I've selected the Revenge sound font. So when I turn it on, I get the red Revenge sound font. Now if I want to change the blade color, I just hold down this button. As with any of the Prism equipped Plecter Labs sound cards, I hold down the auxiliary button while I'm tapping the power button, and it switches to a different orange, a yellow, goes through 10 different colors, 2 different kinds of green, ice blue, regular blue, 2 different shades of purple, and a really cool crimson red that I like. And each of those has their own flash on clash, their own lockup, and you can set it, and then when I turn off the sound font and go to another sound font, it'll remember that red is the one I selected for that sound font. So that's how to operate this color changing saber. As I mentioned before, it's a red dominant saber, and it utilizes a Quad Cree LED. So it's got a red, green, and royal blue dye inside the LED. I don't know if you can see all 4 emitters there. But what that means is that it's got 2 dedicated reds, so that any of the red colors as you cycle through will be really bright and dominant. The blue and the greens won't be as bright or dominant, and of course the purples are quite bright as well because they utilize the red. So this is definitely a dark side favored lightsaber. Now one thing I do want to point out too is this saber is equipped with a projection lens bar graph. So when you're just looking at it like that, it looks like an LED that's animated. But you can shine it on any surface and you can see that the animations then project onto that surface. And if I hold down the auxiliary button, I get lockup, which also tells me the battery level. So my battery is getting low. I've got about 3 bars there. Flickering 3 bars. So this might even die while I'm operating it. If it was full, it would be 7 bars. So I charge up the battery, and then I'll get 7 bars there. So that that animation works when the saber's on. It also pulses to the same speed as the LED and the switch when it's in standby mode. To get access to the saber, I'm actually going to need an Allen key to open up the pommel. You notice the pommel is in the reverse position, which this saber you can actually you can put the pommel in either the regular Badaxx position or the reverse position. I call this Noldorin style. If you look at the Noldorin daggers in Lord of the Rings, they have that swept pommel design. I'm going to grab an Allen key, and then I'll show you how the pommel comes off. Okay, so this Allen wrench is supplied with the saber, and so when it comes time to pull off the pommel, now you don't need to pull off the pommel. The saber will function really well. You plug the charger into the recharge port and charge it up, almost like you would your phone, and you never need to open it up. But if you ever want to get access to the SD card or the rice port, you want to work over a flat surface. You don't want to use the Allen wrench like this. It provides too much torque. So I always use it like this. It's a very small 632 1/8 button screw. And then the pommel, you can use your thumb, and you basically just slide it straight off. I wouldn't do a lot of twisting. You don't need to. And you put the pommel aside. You see you've got your 2-watt base speaker there. Again, this also slides out. You've got a clip that you can unclip or just leave attached. And you can see you've got your sound card in there, your rice port. So if you want to, there's a rice cable that comes with this computer. You need to download drivers and download the rice interface software, which will come on a CD with this saber. And then you plug in your rice cable, and you can make changes on the computer in real time to the saber. If you want to watch a video outlining some of the details and things you can change with the rice cable and the rice interface, just click here, and I'll put a link to a video showing some of the basic changes you can make to your saber with rice. If you want to get the SD card out, all I do is put in the kill key. So now the saber will not turn on. There's no power to it. And a little bit of pressure with my finger. You can hear a click. The SD card just pops out. And I can put that in my computer, make changes to the sound fonts if I wish, or any of the details. And then when it comes time, you just slide it back in. And you press it to get it to click. And if I want to check that it's seated properly, I just pull the kill key. And I hear the saber boot up normally. If I heard a series of beeps, it means something on the programming of the SD card might not be right. I might not have done it properly. So the speaker goes in about halfway, and the pommel, again, I can put it on this way, or I can put it on this way, which I tend to prefer with this saber, Noldorin style. And then you get that hole lined up in the pommel. I tend to back it off a little bit counterclockwise to get it to seat, and then thread it in clockwise. Again, you don't need very much pressure. It's a nice tight fit, so there's no vibration, even if the screw isn't totally tight, but you never want that screw to unthread and fall off. So that is this saber's operation. I hope you like it, and I hope the new owner is going to be really pleased with this fine saber. Thanks again for watching.